Dienstag ist Dilemmatag. Hello and welcome everybody to a new episode of Tuesday is Dilemma Day. A new virtual expansion is about to be released, and sometimes tracking down all the different spoilers on social media and websites can be a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack, but fret not, one of those spoilers you can find in this video. Also, you can win stuff. What you have to do? Watch and find out. Let's go into Lecky here. Now, the new expansion is called Nemesis, and it will focus on the TNG films era, that is the films Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis, of course. We've got some personnel from these expansions already, for example, some Federation guys from Generations, the bridge crew from First Contact, from Insurrection we've got various non-aligned Baku and Sonar, and from Nemesis we've got a bunch of Remans and Romulans. So let's send the TNG bridge crew here into the fray. We are going to beam down to a planet mission. That's the planet from Generations, by the way, with the Nexus. And we've got all the superstars here. What you see in the yellow circles are their total attributes, which will be important in a moment. Data is shown as 30 here, but actually he's 31. He's just too good for what the program can show here. Let's see. First, we've got Primitive Culture, a planet-specific dilemma that gives you various affiliation-specific outs. For Federation, the Anthropology and Civilian, one of each, is the most obvious way. So let's see. Worf is an accomplished anthropologist, and the Baku here are all of the civilian persuasion, so we beat that immediately. Next up is a fast ship would be nice. Kills one personal opponent's choice, or we may substitute an empty ship here. Now we don't want to sacrifice our flagship here, the Enterprise E, so let's give our opponent a choice kill, and they go for Tornell of all people. I wonder why. So let's move on to the next one. That is a dead end. No, it isn't a dead end. This is actually the new spoiler here. It's a planet-only dilemma with the Star Trek Insurrection property logo. It has a countdown of 3. The lore reads, while Anish taught Jean-Luc Picard to appreciate the beauty of a single moment, our team taught Data to enjoy the value of play and to explore with childlike wonder. And the game text here is, placed on mission. Now and start of each attempt here cannot get passed unless 3 personnel with total attributes less than 52 or 2 civilian are present. Now this can be a bit tricky. Obviously, this is the sister dilemma to Row, Row, Row Your Boat, which asks for 3 personnel with very high attributes or 2 music. This one actually wants you to have some personnel that are not superstar caliber. Attributes less than 52, that means we have to find 3 guys who on average have no more than 17. Let's have a look at the guys here. All the TNG bridge crew, even the relatively weak Deanna Troi, have 19 at the least, and the only one with less than 17 here is our team. So the best we can cough up with 3 guys here is 13 and 19, that's 32, plus 20, that's exactly 52. But our team actually gives a bonus to some of our guys, so we can't beat this dilemma with this crew. We'd have to find a second civilian or more personnel with very low attributes here. Let's have a look what would happen if we bring in a different crew. Let's have a look at some of the Nemesis guys. If we bring in Shinzon and his Reman allies and some Romulan politicians and, for good measure, Dr. Tolan Soren, we'll find that the bad guys here have a much easier time beating this, mostly because sometimes they have abysmal integrity. Shinzon is a 14. Telora is not only not a person of high integrity, but she's also relatively weak, so she's a 12. So we have various outs here. So it looks like several decks can beat this dilemma very easily. However, there is one reason why I think this dilemma will see some play, and that is because of one of the most often played cards in the current meta, and that's the incident Taking Charge. Taking Charge is a seedable incident that makes all your personal attributes +1 at a mission that has an objective on it. And if you know the game a little bit, you know that there are some missions that often have an objective played on them. For example, many homeworld missions like Romulus here are attempted with the objective HQ Secure Homeworld, or Supervised Dilithium Mine is often a target for process or mining, much like Review Mining Operation. And there are various others. Many Mirror Quadrant missions are often done with objectives on them. And the beauty here is that this Taking Charge bonus cannot be deactivated. If it is activated at the start of the game, then you must calculate it to your personal attributes, meaning even those lowly guys here, Telora would be a +3, she would be a 15, then the next lowest, Shinzon, would be a 17, but then the next one would be a 20, so that would already put us on 52. And even with a crew that had no trouble earlier, we now couldn't pass it. So one strategy here might be to actually use a dead end at the mission where you then have this new dilemma, and try and make your opponent lose some personal with low attributes at different missions. For example, you could play dilemmas like, what have we got here? Hanonin Land Eel, which takes out the away team member with the lowest cunning if you fail the requirements, or Dalrock, which specifically kills the personal with the lowest total attributes at this location, or simply something like the M113 creature, which gives you a choice in most situations of which personal you want to kill. And then kill some low attribute guys or civilians at different missions, and once they have enough points to get past the dead end here, you have a very good chance that the countdown on the new dilemma, A Little Fun Every Day, will actually prevent them from going through for several more turns. If your opponent is not running Taking Charge, maybe by the time they encounter this dilemma, they will have lower decks out. And then those universal personnel will all be attributes +2. And then it will be very difficult to actually get through. Civilian, likewise, isn't a skill that comes up very often among the superstar personnel. So it's one of the rarer skills that you find in a typical modern OTF deck. Of course, there are some ways through, and we have to call out the elephant in the room. That is, of course, Vina here. Vina already has a civilian. She also has low attributes, but what's really important here is that at the start of each turn, she can select a skill. So she can simply select a second civilian here and pass the dilemma on her own. So she's such a powerful card. She might be a bit too good for the game, but she's definitely a way to pass this dilemma. She's much more useful here than, for example, Excalibur Kalis, who may only gain skills from a personal present until the end of turn, and Civilian doesn't usually appear in the skill box. It's mostly found in the classification box, so Excalibur Kalis can't access that one. The same is true for copying skills with the Interrupt Vulcan Mind Meld or with the Classic Communicator. So definitely Civilian, one of the more difficult skills to have and to generate, and that's why this dilemma might actually do you some good if you stock it in the right deck, if you can predict the decks you're going to face well. Alright, so I said you can win something. I've got some virtual promos on my desk that I will be happy to send out. What do you have to do? Well, comment either here below the video on YouTube or when I post it in the Star Trek CCG Facebook group. Comment and give me the name of one personnel in Star Trek CCG First Edition that you would pick as one of the guys to beat this new dilemma. Meaning, I'm looking for your favorite civilian or a character that doesn't have total attributes more than 17, and I'm not looking for all those Borg drones. Alright, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this, subscribe to the channel, leave a like or a comment, and expand your power in the universe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.